So when you're seeing them do their thing, what is your impression of them as a tag team? And did you see any potential as a singles, or did you look up to their style? I mean, they were working a different style than a lot of the guys in the AWA territory, so they stood out. But you had seen guys like the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express come through Memphis before, and they were working a similar style, respectfully, smaller guys, not huge lumbering guys, a faster pace. Did you say, "Hey, man, I need more of that"?
All right, we're going to go into the young. So before Simply Irresistible, I think it was the Golden Boy, Jeff Jarrett. We're going to go into actually Fandom, Jeff. I was a junior in high school, and which would have been 84, and two guys walked in to one of my high school basketball games in full fur mink coats with my dad to watch a high school basketball game. Conrad, you talk about feeling uncomfortable. It was against one of our rivals. It was a packed high school gym. And here comes my dad, my stepmom, and Stan Lane and Steve Kern. They were working the territory, and maybe they had a Friday night off because I had gotten to meet them at the house. And so I'm saying all this to say they were the first tag team that I saw that were like megastars. I was obviously growing up, huge fan of Jackie Fargo, Jerry Lawler, the Lawler Dundee series, Dutch, Tojo, whatever it may be. But as far as like big box office attractions, I was a fan of the Fabs before above and beyond is what I'm saying, all teams. And as I know today, and you know today, they were good workers, but they weren't the Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson had a lot more fast pace. So in my mind, before I broke into business and as I broke into business, there were the Fabs, then they're the Rock and Roll Express. And I always looked at the Fantastics, although, man, you go back and kind of watch some of their matches, it's off the charts. But as a teenage kid, they were a notch down considerably. And then, Bobby Eaton and Coco Ware and Norvell and Coco and we had a lot of tag teams around here. And so I looked at it because, again, this is pre-cable in my mind, different territories. I looked at, the Midnight Rockers. Wait a minute. Now, Midnight Express. Yeah, I can go with that. But wait a minute. Are they just kind of a hybrid so they're going to take half the name of the Midnight Express, and then you're going to kind of steal the Rock and Roll Express, and you're going to call yourself the Midnight Rockers? Now, come on, guys. Can we not come up with something a little more original? You see where I'm going with that, Conrad? Does that surprise you?
No.
Yeah, I just it didn't sit right. That's my first impression. Then when they came into Memphis that first night and they're working against two giants, I was like, okay, let's see what they got here. And look, it was what it was. That I had to see them work kind of regularly. I remember seeing them work against the first time, and I don't get too far ahead, working with Rock and Roll Express. I went, oh, okay. These guys are not good. They're great. They are a whole nother gear and a whole nother level, especially Shawn.
He wrote, he's Shawn Michaels was a troubled youth. I don't think that's a surprise for a lot of our listeners. But when he's very early in his run, he's going through the territories and he's working Continental and he's not having a good time. And he's miserable and he thinks, hey, I'll amuse myself. And he wrote about this in his book that when a young girl seeking an autograph, came over to Shawn Michaels looking to give him some of that picture money, he autographed her photo with the inscription, well, I won't say what it was, but let's just say it wasn't complimentary. And he thought it was a joke. He's trying to amuse himself. Nobody else thought it was all that funny. All of a sudden, he's looking for a new place to go.
Can I stop you?
Yes.
I read that excerpt from the book, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm a betting man and I got to not go out on a limb, I'm just going to sort of throw the gauntlet down here. They wrote the book. It's because I've obviously got some experience in all this. I'm going to be willing to bet a large sum of money, and I don't part with my money very often. I'm going to say Marty put him up to it.
No chance. No chance.
Oh, stop it.
No, I'm not making this up. I want you to type in your Google machine, and we'll have our producer, Dave Silva, do this for us. Just type in Shawn Michaels autographed and click image on Google right now. Go to google.com, throw it in your Google machine, type in Shawn Michaels autograph, and then click on Google image. Silva will find one. The first one that returned for me is an eBay listing for an autograph card. The second one is a shot of him holding the world title at WrestleMania 12. But one autograph after another from Shawn Michaels, what you see in common, and not a lot of people know this, Shawn Michaels draws a penis on every autograph he does. To this day, he signs with a penis.
I'm not debating that. I'm saying Marty whispered in his ear and said, "Hey, write this on there. I bet you won't do it."
Marty ain't in his ear when he's drawing dicks in 2024. He's having fun.
No, those two together, priceless. They taught me so much. It was a whole nother level of the business that it's oh boy. We got some stuff we can't share maybe for a live show one day, but oh boy. Anyway, go ahead.
When did you first, because it sounds like you knew this, when did you first know that Shawn Michaels drew penises on his autographs?
I never knew that. Like today.
But we'll take a look.
I'll be John Brown.
He's got enough. I mean, he's got more he can show you. I mean, I'm telling you, and by the way, I'm not mad about it. I think it's hilarious. But I'm just saying, he clearly has that type of sense of humor. He draws a dick on every autograph. You don't know it unless you're looking for it. When you're looking for it,
it's like this. It's like that there's been multiple posts. It's like the Amazon logo, but then when you look at the Starbucks logo, you can't unsee that. Things you can't unsee.
Like the arrow in the FedEx logo.
The arrow, Amazon, there's a few, but then you get, when you really do a deep dive, that Starbucks logo.
Well, I don't know what that means.
I'll just let
it's worth a Google, huh?
Oh, it's worth a Google for sure.
Okay. Do I need a tinfoil hat for this one or no?
Oh, I'll throw you some carrots.
Okay.